You ever have one of those days where you pull into your own driveway and bam, your whole life blows up in your face? Yeah, that was me. I'm telling you, the sirens started howling before I even got my boots out of the car. Blue and red lights flickering off the cabin windows, two sheriff's deputies waiting on my porch like I was about to rob my own place, and Karen, the HOA president, queen of rules, and serial smiler, standing out in the driveway. Finger aimed right at my chest like she was some kind of small-town Wyatt Earp. "That's him. That's the squatter I told you about," she shrieked, and I just stood there, jaw on the ground, wondering if I'd missed a memo about my own life. Squatter? I mean, come on. This was my lakeside cabin, my life's work, every dime and every ounce of sweat I'd saved poured into those creaky floorboards. I'd just come back from 2 months in Florida, helping my daughter with her newborn, and here I was, getting accused like a criminal. You know what I mean? The cop steps closer, hand hovering near his belt, and asks for my ID like I'm some drifter who wandered in off the highway. Before I can even reach into my glove box, Karen lets out this shriek. He's reaching for a weapon. And suddenly, I'm staring down the business end of a pair of pistols, right in my own driveway. You want to know how things got so sideways? Let me back up a sec. My name's Mark Donnelly, 58, widowed, retired shop teacher. When my wife, Lynn, passed, I needed a place to breathe, somewhere quiet, and Pinewell seemed just about perfect. The cabin was a mess when I found it, abandoned, eaten up by termites, wild grass up to your knees. But I saw the bones, bought it off the bank cheap and worked every weekend for 2 years, bringing it back to life. The HOA? They weren't fans at first. Karen greeted me with a clipboard and a lecture about mailbox colors, fencing heights, and window shutters. She didn't just follow the rules. She was the rules, and God help you if your garden gnome was out of line. Still, I tried to play nice. Shoveled her driveway, helped her with the garden hose when it busted, even listened when she complained about her son not calling. My wife always said, kindness gives you peace, so I kept my head down. But with people like Karen, kindness isn't enough. Fast forward to this spring. My daughter's first baby arrives, and she begs me to come help out in Miami. I send all the right emails, lock up tight, even ask Karen to keep an eye on things. Happy to, she says, sipping coffee like she's doing me a favor. When I got back, nothing felt right. There's a keypad lock on my gate I didn't install. White curtains I never bought in my windows. 2 cars in my driveway, one with a Bachelorette Bash bumper sticker. My stomach dropped. I open my laptop in the car, log into the Wi-Fi, and there it is, Rustic Waterside Getaway, hosted by Karen. Pictures of my bedroom, my kitchen, even that dining table Lynn and I carved ourselves, all over some rental site. She was renting out my home, and I didn't even know. That's when Karen storms over, phone out, face pinched. "You can't be here," she says, like I'm the intruder. "You left. I took care of it." I try to keep calm, God knows. That was hard. "Karen, you're trespassing." She fires back, dialing 911, and 30 minutes later, here I am, being called a squatter while Karen acts like the hero. And just when you think it can't get worse, the real twist drops. A couple rolls up in a black SUV, matching Lake Life crew. T-shirts, big smiles. "Is this our rental?" they ask the deputies. Karen's face goes white. The woman flashes a booking confirmation on her phone, hosted by Karen. Check-in for July 4th. The cop turns to her. "Ma'am, can you explain this?" Karen stammers. The couple looks at me, confused. "Wait, this is your cabin?" They're out nearly $800 for the weekend. The deputy pulls me aside. "Sir, you'll want to file a report. Change your locks." The guests drive away. No vacation, just an awkward apology. I step inside and everything's wrong. Couch moved, new curtains, a candle on the table, and a photo on the mantle of a family I've never seen. My home, invaded by strangers, their memories now tangled up in mine. I start digging and find reviews, dozens, under Karen's fake host profile. She's been at this a while, maybe even while I was in the hospital last year. No one said a thing. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't care. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking, was I targeted because I was quiet, because I kept to myself, or because Karen figured a widower wouldn't put up a fight? That's when I decided, I'm done being the nice guy who gets rolled. I start documenting everything: dates, names, receipts, pizza orders I never made. Called the sheriff, filed a formal complaint, and then called my lawyer, Jackson Tully, big guy, used to be my student, now the best bulldog attorney in the county. He takes one look at my evidence and says, she's in big trouble. This is fraud, trespassing, maybe even grand theft. Before the ink's dry on our complaint, Karen strikes again. HOA is installing a surveillance post on my property for suspicious activity. They even cite my shutters being the wrong shade of brown. I nearly laugh, but it isn't funny. Karen's not just after my house, she wants me out. Period. I post on the community forum, polite, honest, just asking questions. And boom, someone replies, wait, that was your house? We rented it last Thanksgiving. More messages roll in: families, bachelor parties, all tricked by Karen. My lawyer starts building the lawsuit, and we're ready to go to war. Then, the twist: quiet Donna from next door, straw hat, poodle on a leash, slips over one morning. I know what she did, she whispers. Turns out, Karen bragged to her about staging empty homes. Donna's willing to testify. But then, I get a note on my porch: don't test me. You'll regret it. No signature, but I know who it's from. You see what I'm up against. HOA calls a disciplinary hearing. Karen and Pearl's at the head of the table, me with Jackson and Donna in tow. Karen lists my supposed violations: unauthorized guests, non-compliant curtains, harassment. I stand up, lay out the evidence, hand out screenshots and guest lists, and then Donna pipes up. She saw Karen entering my home, bragging about it. Gasps. The board looks nervous. Jackson warns them, if they don't act, they're complicit. Meeting adjourns. No decision. Karen storms out, but I know she's not done. A few days later, I come home and find my front door wide open. No forced entry, nothing valuable missing, just every photo of my late wife, gone, our wedding portrait smashed on the floor. Whoever did it wanted to erase me. Police take a report, say it'll be tough to prove without cameras. Next morning, I find a dead fish in my mailbox, wrapped in one of my dish towels. Karen walks by, little dog prancing, and just smiles. I double down, document everything, cameras up, locks changed. Donna gives me an old notebook Karen once handed her, filled with notes about which homes were empty, which neighbors traveled. Karen's been running this scam for years, targeting the quiet, the absent, the vulnerable. It's time to go public. I post everything online: reviews, fake listings, even a scan of Karen's war log. The neighborhood blows up. More people come forward. One night, an ex-board member, Matt, meets me behind the community pool, hands me a thumb drive loaded with old meeting recordings. I listened to one from 2 years ago, Karen on tape, suggesting staging empty homes to preserve value, even if it means skirting the law. With all this, Jackson files the lawsuit. Fraud, theft, harassment, defamation, you name it. We demand Karen's suspension from the HOA. The police get involved. The evidence goes viral. Karen, backed into a corner, shows up at my door one night, hair wild, yelling that she'll ruin me. Donna catches it all on video. The cops arrive minutes later. Karen goes quietly, but not before locking eyes with me, promising this isn't over. The next day, a letter slides under my door. No envelope, just 4 words. You missed the deed. I tear through my paperwork and find it. A forged property management deed, supposedly giving Karen control over my home while I was away. Her signature, a fake witness, the works. If I hadn't found it, she could have tried to sell the place or claim it outright. Matt confirms it's her handwriting. I upload the final evidence, photos, handwriting comparisons, the forged deed, to the community forum. The HOA suspends Karen, and the police open a criminal investigation. But I know fear doesn't leave overnight. So I host a barbecue. First one in years. 40 people show up, laughing, sharing stories, the start of something new. That night, as the sun sets over Pinewell, I spot Karen, out on bail, walking her little dog. She doesn't wave, doesn't look up, just disappears into her house. She's not the queen anymore. Just another neighbor with a lot to answer for. And me? I'm finally, truly home. But let's not kid ourselves. These battles don't end in a day. I fought back, sure, but what about everyone else who's too afraid, too quiet, Too alone? Tell me, was I right to go public? When does kindness become weakness? How do we stop people like Karen from stealing not just our homes, but our sense of safety? I want to hear your thoughts, your stories. Drop them below. Because sometimes the only way to fix a broken community is to finally start talking.